Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Life is short, and it's full of a lot of interesting questions. What does happiness really mean? How do I get the most out of my time here on Earth? And what really is the best cereal? These are the questions I seek to resolve on my weekly podcast, Life is Short with Justin Long. Follow Life is Short wherever you get your podcasts. You can also listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens. 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 Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap we just love to talk about on ye old Bravo, or in this case, Peacock, which is basically just Bravo. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the wonderful and hilarious and charming Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How you doing?
Hi.
How's your COVID doing?
Oh, just feels great. What a disease. God, it's just like I'm relaxing at the fucking beach, Ben. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, you look good. We're on Crappens on Demand, so I can watch you. Go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. Join us on Crappens on Demand. You can see Ronnie. You look really great for having COVID, I have to say.
Well, thank you. I think it's that old medicine we use over here called prayer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Prayer is the best vaccine.
But this is also the first time I've been out of bed in 3 days, and I think I'm just so happy to be talking to you and be talking about these stupid shows that I'm like, Yes, I'm rallying, and then back to the bed it is. But I'm going to spray it with some Febreze because they do that shit on Below Deck, and so I thought I'm going to do that too. Yeah, I'm going to buy some Febreze fresh scent, and guess what? I'm going to go in there, I'm going to spray that shit down, and I'm going to re-cocoon until next time we speak.
You should spend the whole weekend sleeping and drinking orange juice.
Yeah, baby. Yes. I don't believe in orange juice. That's a liquid sandwich.
Then water and tea and all those things.
Melted drumsticks. I still have some drumsticks left.
Drumsticks. I totally support that with or without COVID. Welcome, everyone. Just some things. First of all, today we're recapping the latest episode of Real Housewives of Miami. By the way, Real Housewives of Miami has been nominated many times in our Golden Crappies. The ballot just came out earlier this week on Wednesday. If you want to vote, go to watchwhatcrappens.com. That's a link to the voting there. The big ceremony is happening on February 24th at the Wilton Theater in Los Angeles. Huge theater. If you're in the area, please, please, please come. We want to fill it all the way up as much as we can. If you can't be there, don't worry. You can stream the show on Moment House. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com. That's where the Moment House link is. I think the Moment House link is momenthouse.co/WWC. But go to the Watch What Crappens website because you'll get it for sure there. By the way, in terms of Miami got the second most number of nominations this year on the ballot. I crunched some numbers, aka I was bored and just going through the ballot. Beverly Hills had the most noms, I think with like 23. Miami had 12. And I think right behind Miami was Potomac. So those are our big ones there. And really appreciate everyone who took the time to vote already, by the way. We've got like thousands of votes. Here's one category. I want to sort of just highlight categories so people know what kind of things there are. Here's one. Let's do biggest villain. We have All the Men from Southern Charm. Ashley Marty from Below Deck Sailing. Camille from Below Deck. Chef Ryan from Below Deck Down Under, Diana Jenkins, Erica Jane, Jen Shaw, Lenny Hochstein, Lisa Rinna, Robin Dixon. That's a hard category, I have to say.
There are a lot of people. Bravo really gives us so much.
I know they give us a lot of terrible people, and there were a lot of people that could have been on that list that didn't make it. And that
for
was just
someone who is fueled by rage, every time I pass a Bravo billboard, I just think, "Hello, BP." My fuel, my Shell oil, my Chevron. Get into me, darling.
Yeah, so we're really excited. I'll just real quickly, just some of the other categories. I'm not going to go through them, but there's Best Bravo Moment. We've got Best Fight, Biggest Villain, Most Cringe, Biggest Fail, best musical performance, best newbie, things like that. So go to watchcrappens.com and definitely vote. It's a super fun ballot. And also come see us. The whole schedule is there. I won't go through it now because I spent all this time talking about the ballot and we have a whole recap to do. But go see if your city is there or maybe a friend's city and go visit your friend at that city and come to our show. I don't know. You do you.
Watch on crappens.com. Also, this is a video recap. So we're on Crappens On Demand today. Hi. Anybody who wants those, go over and join our Patreon. So today is Real Housewives of Miami, Season 5, Episode 13, Brujeria en la Bahamas. Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
The cast trip. So it starts off, it's like stormy and rainy, and it says one day before the Bahamas. And then Julia and Adriana are in a botanica, and they're shopping for protection on the Bahamas trip. And there's like lots of candles and like crystals and all that. It's like the sort of place I can imagine you, Ronnie, going to on like any afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I go to stores like this. I would go to stores like this growing up in El Paso all the time. I was really big into crystals.
Yeah.
And, in the Mexican culture, there is a lot of talk of, spirits and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I was into that shit. I would read Cards for Money in high school and stuff.
Really?
So, yes, I knew all of these. I knew all of these stores very well. So they're in one of those. Of course, they're in like one of the rich people ones, But they're in one of those, and Adriana's like, we need to protect ourselves because we're going to the trip to the Bahamas. And Julie's like, there's a girl who likes to spread rumors. They are not true rumors. They're fake rumors.
Yes, so I want to get her peace token. She gets peace. And then she's like, and there's someone, Alexia likes to dig things up on people, so let's give her the happiness token. And for me...
Also, she doesn't scroll to the bottom.
Scroll to the bottom token.
I want scroll token for her.
Can you get her token that says jump to recipe? She has difficult time on food blogs.
Could you please get her token that says slender?
I would like token that just says goat. Can you have that?
So Adriana's like, well, we don't want people to think we're doing black magic. And then Julia's like, there's nothing black magic about it. Oh, my blood from my finger is okay, or you need something more bloody?
Where should I sign an old-fashioned manuscript?
So now the packing segment where everybody's getting ready to go to the Bahamas. And the song is Rápido, rápido, ah, rápido, rápido, ah, rápido, rápido, ah, which just means faster.
Yeah.
Which kind of cracks me up. I don't know why. So Alexi's like, tomorrow, somebody's going to be with you, Frankie. So don't worry. And if you want, you can call your dad and you can stay with him one night. And he's like, my heart is with my poppy.
I love Frankie. I love how Frankie imbues so much love with everything he says. Because then we see that Pedro, his dad, is back in Miami, and we see a flashback to like the day before when the entire family is having lunch or something. And Frankie's like, I miss my dad. I miss my poppy. And then the dad's like, yeah, well, we can play like basketball or something or whatever. Or Alexia's like, why don't you guys play basketball? And then Frankie is like, basketball on one-on-one? Bro, I'll whoop you, my love. I'll whoop you. Like, I love that. He just adds like my love into his trash talk.
I think that in recovery, he spent a lot of time in front of telenovelas because he's very like, my love, my heart. You think you will beat me at soccer? Good luck with that, my love.
I'm going to shit on you, my heart and soul.
Also, this dad seems like a real class act. Alexi's like, okay, so he was away for a while in school. He served 5 years with conspiracy charge and then another 5 to do something with drugs. Something about that. So, but he's very important in my kid's life. So I'll take him to the park or something. Like,
I know. The guy's like, yeah. By the way,
park's probably not the place you want that guy taking the kids.
I know.
You know what I mean? Was it like take your kids to work day?
So, a lot of people compare Alexia and Teresa, and for a moment, the comparison seems really apt in this scene because when she says, "Oh well, like Pedro, he was like away in school, I like to call it," but then she goes, "Better known as prison or jail." It's like that's where she and Teresa differ,
So she's like, "Oh my God, look, Frankie, I wish I could pack like Marisol does. This is how she packs. She throws it in there. She throws it, and then she puts it on, and she looks like she came out of a runway show." No, she doesn't. She looks like she always looks like she's crawling out of something. You notice? Every outfit she's in, it looks like she's just gone like this and is like looking over the top of it. Watch from now on, and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. They're always like some weird piece of cloth that she's like coming out of,
She just landed on a planet and she's getting out of her capsule. She's like, she looks like there's different scenes of gravity. So, so then now it's 2 hours.
Just gonna end up in her depends or whatever.
She's communicating with like Russian space stations. She's like, "Hey, hookers, anyone help me out here? Come on, hookers."
"Hey, everyone, George Clooney died and I need a khakis. Can anyone bring me one?" Didn't turn out to be very reliable. Am I right?
"Hey, everyone, there was an unexpected asteroid field and I lost my wine opener in it. Can someone help a girl out? I gotta make some khakis or at least some spritzers."
That asteroid really put the ass in asteroid. Am I right? What an asshole. Anybody got a khaki?
"Come on, hookers. Come on, help me out."
So now we're at the airport. And of course, Gertie comes upon this trip like she comes upon everything in her life. "Oh, I work so hard, and this is literally going to be the most amazing weekend. And either I'm going to put down the phone, I'm going to lay on the beach, I'm going to quack at the flamingos. Do flamingos even quack? I don't care. I'm going to see them. I'm going to say quack, 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 quack. And that means move that table over there and put the mother of the bride over there." And flamingo.
Just if you've never seen a flamingo with a clipboard, then just wait until Gertie gets there.
So the ladies are in the waiting area wondering where Marisol is. And Alexia's like, "Well, Lisa's going to be coming an hour later because she's never on time anywhere. And that's kind of the point of her because she's more important than any of us. Also, Marisol tested positive for COVID."
And they're like, "Ah!" And Adriana, by the way, she is in the airport. Like, I still wear a mask in the airport because I just don't like, I just like it. I like wearing a mask in an airport now or on an airplane. Like, I just don't need, listen, I was getting sick on airplanes before COVID. So I'm like, I'm going to wear a mask.
You do love a mask.
I love a mask in an airport, but Adriana really takes it to the next level.
You love a mask on a Zoom call. You'll wear a mask on a Zoom call in your own damn apartment.
But Adriana looked like she was Darkman. She had like latex gloves on, the mask, sunglasses, and a brimmed hat on. I was like, what mafia man are you trying to get away from right now? Like,
and is it really the right way to even put it? Like, did Marisol get COVID or did COVID get Marisol? Because imagine the break room over at COVID-19. They're like, "Oh, Jesus, you got stuck with Marisol." Yes. Why did I have to get Marisol? I've never felt this terrible in my whole fucking life. I've been throwing up for 3 days.
Yeah, COVID's like, I was trying to get J-Lo. I heard she was in town in Miami, so I went out and I made the wrong turn. I just got inhaled by Marisol, and sorry, guys.
And by the way, to people on demand, I'm so sorry about the coughing. I'm cutting it out of the audio version, but no such luck here, suckers.
Listen, Ronnie,
every COVID moment.
Listen, you have COVID. Okay, you're being real. This is real right now.
I know, but also, like, I never cough on here. I cough on here all the time. I guess COVID just makes me apologize for it. Wow, this disease is making me a better person.
Wow. So then Marisol says, "This is bullshit. I mean, I know I don't have COVID. I don't even leave my house. I'm like Howard Hughes. I'm such a recluse. I don't go anywhere." And yet it's funny because everything I say is about stories people tell me when I'm out and about. But I don't go anywhere.
And Nicole's like, "Well, trips with Marisol usually don't end well." And then we see Nicole's memory. Like, "You were coming from a nasty place. Like, you were like bullying me." And Marisol going, "I'm just repeating what you said because you're being nice to everyone to their face, but then shitty behind their back."
She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm torn about how I feel about this news." And then Nicole's like smiling. So now they fly off to the Bahamas. And I guess, is it only 37 minutes from Miami to the Bahamas? I guess that makes sense. They are relatively close. But I was like, wow, that is a short flight. I'm like, it's like the most exciting thing I've learned all week. So they get into a Sprinter van and then this is my, Gertie's like, this is like my like sleeping routine with my hair. Like, I'm like, I like this, and I got like a turban, and I have like my hair up like this, and I have my hair to the side. I'm like, Russell, no touching, cannot touch the hair. And like, well, your hair must be very heavy, Larsa. And Larsa's wearing these big box braids and everything. And she's like, yeah, it's like really heavy. It's like a lot on my head right now.
Yeah, but like my grandparents are like Moroccan. So like my mom like had braids like when she was a kid. Like, so like, I've been like braiding my hair on vacation since like ever I can remember, like. And the producer says, did the bitch steal your look, Gertie? And she's like, no, 2 different looks, but definitely bossy. Definitely bossy.
They sort of like tiptoeing around the idea, like, is Larsa appropriating right now?
Yes. And Larsa is Lebanese, from what I understand. I believe that she's Lebanese. And so I love that she pulled out the Moroccan.
The Moroccan card, yeah.
There, like, I don't know. What do you think? I guess we don't need to have this
sure,
discussion.
Ask the white guy. But... What do you think about the box braids? But yeah, I definitely was like, this was their way of acknowledging that it felt like there was some appropriation going on here. But at the same time, you know, who knows? It's not for me to be the judge and jury about appropriation when I'm just like a white guy. You know,
I figured that's what they were going. But you know what? When I show up somewhere in braids, I'm not going to be able to complain about it. So I'm not saying a thing because like, there was a time like my friend, when I was growing up, my friend Rosie Strube used to always go to the Virgin Islands every summer. Like that was her thing. And I was so jealous because she got to go stay on this hippie beach where they worked all summer. I've told you this before, I'm sure. Like they would stay in tents, but they had to work and they were all hippies and stuff. And she would come back and she'd be like, hey, I learned how to make like sock hats. And they looked like a windsock, but you put them on your head and then tucked them under. So I would wear them around. And my mom's like, get that ugly thing off your head. I'm like, no. And I'm going to have braids too, because like, I believe in like peace. My mom's like, no, you don't. You little shit. Get that off your head. Do not say peace. Yeah, because there was like the war going on then. And I'm like, yeah, I believe in peace now. And then Rosie braided my hair. And I came home one day and I had all these braids. It wasn't those kinds of braids, like cornrows.
Yeah. Oh, you had cornrows?
I didn't have those, but I had those braids, you know, like tons of braids.
Oh, yeah.
With little color rubber bands at the end of them. And my mom was like, we are not going into that restaurant until you take those out. And I was like, no, I believe in peace and braids. So I always think about that when I see shit like this. I'm like, wow, I'm lucky I didn't live in this day and age. Get my ass. I get canceled when I was 14.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Hashtag peace. So, so they get to this resort, the Bahamas resort, and they get taken up to this big, beautiful, well, I would say just like a big presidential suite. It was like sort of beautiful, but I didn't really actually think it looked that nice. And Nicole's like, oh, there's a pool table. And then Gertie's like, oh, a 2-story presidential suite, a butler at any call, ocean view, a pool table, fine. But we'll take it. But like, no one's probably going to use it because we'll be too busy getting drunk. Okay. Like, my darling Nicole, I'm rubbing off on you because you done good, girl. You done good. Okay. Now, do we have a whistle for the flamingos? Okay. Can we get the flamingo army ready? Okay. No?
So some people are in the presidential and some people have their own shared rooms, but they're all beautiful suites.
I felt like the regular rooms, the regular awesome suites were nicer than the presidential suite. The presidential suite had these weird sort of like blue accents that I did not enjoy.
Yeah. It looked older.
Yeah.
So then there's a movie theater in Julie and Adriana's room. Adriana's like, "Oh my God, we have our own movie theater. We're going. What movie are we going to watch tonight?" And Julie's like, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. She goes, "Oh no, I don't do horror."
Don't do horror, not at all.
Silly.
Very scary movie.
So then Alexia is showing off her room to Marisol on FaceTime, and Marisol's like, I can't believe I'm stuck here. My favorite thing to do with Alexia is to get drunk traveling. I mean, we make screwdrivers and bacon. I just love drinking with Alexia. Jesus Christ, hang up on her. You can't even go 1 second without talking about being fucking shit hammered.
I know. And I love that as Alexa's giving the tour, Alexa's like, Mira. And she puts it like she shows her like a pool table. And Marisol goes, I love playing pool. Are you kidding me, you hooker? There's a pool table. I was like, what? Since when does Marisol Patton like playing pool?
So, Julia.
Well, actually, I know why, because there's like a whole variety of props you can use. She's like, well, there's like a triangle. That's helpful. Like a pool cue is great prop. And they got all these different balls. Balls. I said balls. You like that?
Hey, you have something to say to me? I'll tell you when the time for your cue. Got it, boys? Give me a cocky over here. Hey, buddy, just breaking your balls there. Don't be offended.
Wow. You know, there's always going to be drama on a girls' trip, but I can't chalk everything up to that. She just holds up the little chalk. It's like, listen, I'm doing the best that I can.
I think I'm going to win, but I'm no magic 8-ball. Am I right?
Hey, the best part about going to the Bahamas is I can show off my rack. See what I'm doing here? I'm holding up the triangle rack.
Last time I saw a white ball that polished, I was dating him.
Lacrosse. She just holds up the lacrosse stick. She's like, I don't know. I'm getting desperate.
I'm out. I'm totally out of things.
Moving on to new areas of sport.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
It's really hard to stick with working out.
Oh my God, it's really, really hard.
Me too. And it's a new year and it's really time to get our butts in shape. And you know what? Peloton makes it really easy.
Oh my God, you know I'm a big Peloton fan because Peloton is more than just a bike. You probably already know that Peloton makes bikes, but what you may not know is that they also make treadmills. And no, not all treadmills are the same. With the Peloton Tread, you can seamlessly adjust your speed and it can automatically adjust your incline while you're taking a class so you never break your stride. I have used a Peloton Tread and I can attest that this is what happens. It is a lovely, lovely experience. And by the way, it's also not that big. I was shocked by how compact it is.
Because nothing gets you moving like the perfect song, Peloton offers the best playlists with a variety of genres. Whether you're looking for EDM, 90s pop, something soulful, Peloton has music to fit your mood.
It's fitness for all levels. Like, you don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every level. Whether you're squeezing in a power walk or training for a marathon, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals.
Try Peloton Tread risk-free with a 30-day home trial.
New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Meet Jill Evans. Jill's got it all. A big house, fast car, 2 kids and a great career. But Jill has a problem. When it comes to love, Jill can never seem to get things right. And then along comes Dean.
I can't believe my luck. Whoa, I've hit the jackpot.
It looks like they're going to live happily ever after. But on Halloween night, things get a little gruesome.
This is where the shooting happened outside a building society in New Romney. It's thought the 42-year-old victim was killed after he opened fire on police.
And Jill's life is changed forever. From Wondery and Novel comes Stolen Hearts, a story about a cop who falls in love with a man who is not all he seems to be. I'm Kerry Godliman. Follow Stolen Hearts on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
So Julia is, she has like some kind of grass or whatever that she bought at the Botanica. So she's walking around putting it behind curtains and stuff. And she's like, I want to show zen and calm. I'm like, how about you show some respect for the fucking cleaning crew who doesn't need to be... They're not opening behind the curtains every time they come clean a room. Someone's going to get fired for that shit.
Yeah. So somehow by the way that she's sprinkling this stuff, she kicked off some sort of sensor that causes the blinds to start closing. And she's like, wait, blind is closed. Blind, this is not good. This is like, no. And she's like, Adriana, come, brujeria, starting to happen. Like really weird shit. I put the crystals out and like start separating for you, Nicole, protection abs, and I sprinkle some here and this thing started to move and close. There's like no remote control. Look, nothing.
And do you think someone did some black magic on us? Like, yes, for you guys to get shade. Like, what
Yeah, very specific black magic.
I hope that Julie and Adriana don't ever get any kind of skin cancer. Ooh.
It's actually like a very Marisol Patton ghost. Like there's like a ghost sitting in there, like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta haunt these two. I don't know. I'm just like,
let's close the curtains.
Just close them.
That'll show them.
Sick of making things float around the room.
So Nicole and Gertie are talking about Lisa as Lisa arrives, and they're like, I'm not going to bring up Lenny. Don't you bring up Lenny. Don't say the L word. Don't bring up Lenny. So Lisa tells us, I didn't want to leave because the father isn't living in the house, but I have help and my mother-in-law, so maybe it would be good to get away a couple of days. So she's shown her own room, and then she sees Nicole and Gertie, and they're like, don't say the L word. Don't say the L word. She's like, got it, Miss Lenny.
Guys, if you don't mind, I just don't want to talk about Lenny. Anyway, you guys want to go to Disney? Because Lenny and I used to always bring the kids there. Oh, God, Lenny loves going to Disney. Oh, man.
I have like a Lenny ding. Every time she says Lenny, she gets a ding. And it's like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, and she's like, she just literally keeps on saying no matter what. She brings it all up. She's like, I can't stop talking about Lenny. It's the only thing on my mind. It's like, cut to the people at that club last week being like, we know we're Craigslist extras, and we have to sit and listen to you for an hour talking about him.
Yeah, so everyone gets on their baby suits. I'm such a weirdo. Sorry, we just recapped Vanderpump Rules. Everybody gets on their bathing suits, and they meet in the penthouse suite. And Lisa's like, she picks up like a toothpick or something. She goes, what is this, a penis? And like, oh.
Oh, I love that your mind is there. Like, you're seeing penises. And Lisa's like, you know, I don't think I'm ready for that. Like, I've been with the same penis for 15 years, and I'm almost afraid. Like, I don't know what to do with a new one. I need to get a book, because I'm used to Lenny's penis. I said Lenny again.
So they go to the water park. And it's kind of an odd place for housewives to go, right? Have we seen a lot of housewives at the water park?
No, not at like a water park, not like with water slides and stuff like that. This does feel like a very family friendly location, as opposed to like exotic and like wealthy and elite, etc. And so they go out there, and one half the group is going to go to the water slide, and the other half is not going to. Larson's like, I don't want to do this slide. I'm like afraid for my back. Like, so Alexis like, well, obviously, like we're like the fun ones. Well, you know, Peter, like we're like the Sex and the City, and they're like the Golden Girls.
Does Golden Girls mean like we have a good time? Like, what does Golden Girls mean? And the producer's like, didn't you watch the Golden Girls? She goes, I never watched the Golden Girls. Like, so you don't know what they're talking about. She's like, no idea.
How dare you, ma'am? How dare you? How dare you come on to Bravo TV or Peacock and say you have not watched the Golden Girls?
It's just so amazing to me how someone like Larsa can maintain so much fame with no gay following, apparently. Does she have gay following? Because they didn't really know what to do at Gay Pride last year.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like she's so close to being a gay icon, but she's like in the uncanny valley somehow. Like, you know, she's like approaching. It's like looking good, and then all of a sudden she's like down there. You know the uncanny valley.
Yeah, you've explained it to me. I always forget what it is though.
It's just like it's like the Polar Express. You know, like cartoons look really cute and fun, and they're really likable until they look a little bit too much like humans, and then they become really just, you're like, ugh. And then like, so I feel like Larsa Pippen is in the uncanny valley for being a gay icon. she like looks like she got too close to looking like a gay icon without being one. So we rejected her.
So some of them go to this slide thing, right? And they're all getting onto like a big river rafting blow up type spinning around thing to share as they go down the slide. And Alexia's like, this weekend I'm going to be the adventurous Alexia I always wanted to be, and I'm going to go with it.
I'm going to do something that a 7-year-old would do. I'm adventurous now.
So Lisa and Larsa are bored. So it just cuts between the group having fun and then the bored people. So Lisa's like, I want food. Anybody want to order food? And then the other ones are like, woo.
Yeah, there's like a lot a lot of craziness going down that slide.
And then Lisa taking every chance she can. She's like, wow, look at this water park. Look at all the dads here with their kids. Isn't that sweet? I remember when Lenny would want to do that. Blah, Lenny.
Adriana's like, don't look at the families. That's not good. Don't look at the families. Stop. Don't look at them. And Lisa's like, I can't help the fact that I love this person. You know, in 6 weeks isn't going to change anything. Yeah, I know what he's done. But that doesn't erase the memories of 15 years. 15 years of a not very good marriage that I tried to sell to myself. That doesn't erase any of that.
And this makes me kind of sad because Adriana's like, when a man doesn't desire you because they desire a new toy, you feel lesser than. And that happened to me twice. And it's hard to get over it. And I want Lisa to know, from my experiences, someone else will come along and make you feel beautiful again. Feel beautiful because you're beautiful already. How have you gone through this 2 times and you still need some fucking man to come validate you? You don't need a man to validate you, okay? Validate your damn self. Look in the mirror and know that you're fucking beautiful. I'm so sick of this, needing some ugly, fucking, gross old man to validate you. Yeah. Get a hold of yourselves, ladies.
And Julia is really good also with her pep talk. You know, as her life is devastated and shattered, Julia's like, yes, I've been in that situation. The pain is beyond. It's like a knife moving in, and you're like, why? How could you do this to me? And then suddenly curtains close on themselves. It's terrible. It's like, is this supposed to cheer her up? And then you meet tennis superstar and everything fixed. Have you met anyone?
Your kick to curb, feel nothing ever again. But
Would
then
you like
find a new goal.
Let me introduce you to Gigi Fernandez.
So then they're all getting ready for dinner, and Alexia goes to Nicole's room, and she's being really nice to Nicole because, of course, Marisol's not there, right? Yeah. So this has all been a very fun and games episode because Marisol's not there, you know, working her magic. So everybody's having really fun, a really good time together, and that's actually really fun to watch. Yeah. So not as fun to talk about because, of course, they're not screaming at each other. But Nicole's like, so since Marisol's not here, I decided I could be in charge of the games. And they're like, oh, no, games? And then we saw when Marisol's like, I want to play a game. Nicole, you go first. Why are you such a bitch who talks about everybody?
I know. But the thing is that Marisol, I think she just brought the same game Nicole brought the same game that Marisol brought, right? So I don't feel like she's really fixed anything. So now they all walk to dinner and they sit down and the waiter comes along and he puts down a giant copper flamingo and he said, welcome everyone. This is our signature drink. It's called the Yes Chef because someone here watched The Bear. And now we all have to sit around and give you guys Yes Chefs as if it's brand new. Has nothing to do with the fact that this is our take on a Moscow Mule. Not sure how the concept of Yes Chef is connected to a Moscow Mule, and it's also served in a giant flamingo. I personally have said, why don't we call it a Bohemian Mule or a Moscow Flamingo? But this guy, my boss, said, no, you got to watch the show. It's on FX. It says it's a comedy, but it's actually a drama, and you just have to be okay with that. It's really good. And so I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, none of that made any sense. And
why is it called the Yes Chef?
And also that they had these huge copper flamingos to serve out of it.
Why are you not making a pun on the flamingos or something like that? Or
Mingo Mule? Like, what would you call it?
Yeah, Mingo or Flamingo. Well, Flamingo Mule doesn't make sense because now it's just two different animals. It's some unholy union of a flamingo and a mule.
Oh, that's true. That's
but
true.
But well, you can't call it just call it Bahamian Mule or
a Baha Mule because aren't they staying at the Baha Mar? So they could say the Baha Mule.
Or like the flamingo mixer or the flamingo. But
the Yes Chef, I mean,
Yes Chef is like that's the worst.
So Nicole's like, guys, I just want to say cheers to friendship, Chef. Better together. You guys, today we had a great day. It was really fun, right, Chef? And they're like, yes, Chef. And Alexia's like, thank you for having so much fun with me today, Chef. She's like, yes, Chef. By the way, Ben did a whole bonus episode hating on The Bear. I just watched The Bear last week. Loved it. I thought it was so good. I was actually angry with you as I watched the bear. I was like,
Good.
how dare Ben?
Good. Be
How
angry.
dare Ben come for the bear? This show is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's an amazing show for people who want to watch yet another show on FX where a guy stares out into the sunset as he thinks about all the wild things around him and how no one really understands his pain and torture and inevitably working up to a monologue about love and loss. And God, who would have ever thought?
People who work out have feelings too. Okay. People with gigantic arms and beautiful eyes have feelings too. So let them monologue.
It was a wonderful show. It taught me that you could be interested in cakes one day and then make excellent, beautiful pastries the next day. I was like, wow, if you just believe it, it will happen.
That guy
the bear
studied.
taught me that.
He watched people make
donuts. He read a book. No, he was great. I learned so much. I learned that if you are going to be, you can have a credit on the show and all you can do is just call up and be like, when are you going to come over for dinner? We miss you. Come over for dinner. When do you come for dinner?
Oh, who's that? The sister?
The sister who shows.
Did she write the show or something?
No, but like she exists solely to complain that he doesn't come over for dinner.
She's like, look, I'm your connection to humanity. Come on.
I'm a female presence.
Yeah, I'm your connection to normalcy. Loved it. Anyway, yes, chef. Hell yes, chef. Okay, back to this show. So Julia's like, before Seafood Tower came, me and Adriana went to Albotanica. Okay. And Nicole's like, her bruja shop. And she's like, yes, I go all the time. She goes, so you like Albotanica shops? Okay. And Alexia's like, if Marisol was here, Marisol thinks that the reason she's not here is because someone's doing witchcraft on her.
And Gertie goes, oh my God, what? Oh my God. Oh, I'm not upset about the Botanica thing. I just realized that one of my workers is sitting around the table. It's like, oh, no, that's not a real flamingo. Oh, good. Okay, good. I was about to fire her.
And then there's eerie instrumental music, the captions say. And Alexi's like, oh, yeah, she thinks it's a conspiracy, which I think is very funny because wasn't it always the thing that Marisol was being accused of doing witchcraft and her mom did all sorts of witchcraft? So that's funny.
Wasn't it Larsa? Wasn't that in season 1? Larsa got upset at Elsa for doing witchcraft, or was it Christy? I don't know. But Marisol tells us, I've been feeling really weird over the last few months. I have been feeling my mother's presence. I've been gaining weight. I see double a lot. I get really hungry at certain times of the day. My words slur. It's like, you're drunk, Marisol. That's what it's called, being drunk. It's not witchcraft.
I was just playing with matches and I blew one out and it actually turned into a fire. Fire coming out like a dragon. Weird stuff is happening. I peed and it smelled like olives. Is that weird? Somebody is messing with me. Like, you're clearly a drunk, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So then Julia starts handing out her little tchotchkes. So she's like, to you, Larsa, I give peace. Here's peace for you. And Nicole, here's something, little herbs inside yours. And then Lisa, faith. I give you faith. And Kiki, joy.
What? What?
Kiki, I give this. I take it back. You're disinvited from the stone.
I like when Kiki got one. She just goes, what? So Gertie gets a friend, one that says friend. And Adriana's like, and Alexia, what we wish you the most is happiness. And Alexia's like, I'm trying to be cool, but like, you're going to a Botanica because a Botanica is a Cuban spiritual place. And you go because you have a certain concern in your own love. Don't go for me.
Yeah, so Alexia is like reading lots of negativity into this. And they also gave a piece to Marisol. And Alexia's like, I'm superstitious. And there's like good and there's like evil. Okay, and then there's also Peter. And you're in like a botanical and you're thinking about me. And like, how do I know you're thinking good things about me? No, I don't know that. You're creeping me out.
Yeah. So everybody's kind of scared. They're looking at each other like, oh my God, what has Julia done? What has this Russian lady done to us?
I know.
Because it has a different meaning for literally everybody else at the table. So the seafood towers come and Alexi is like, why don't we play the card game? Let's do something, please, before I die of a heart attack right now. So Julia's like, I have in my purse. So Nicole goes first and she goes, no, she takes out the cards. So she goes, Lisa, you go first. So Lisa's like, All right, who would be most ashamed of their own porn search history? I think Adriana. She's a freak.
And Adriana's like, no, I just watch basic porn. Well, maybe like a DP. And Julia's like, DP? What is DP? Director of photography? Someone tell me what DP. What's DP?
Is this deep? Like tzatziki?
Is this like an EP, but it's a DP? What is it?
Is it like hippie go swimming in deep water? DP? So Nicole's like, mom and dad normal, and then she just slips in DP. Girl, what's normal in your book?
Yeah, and Nicole's like, how do I explain this? Like the first word rhymes with trouble, I guess you could say. So bubble. Okay, first word is bubble. Bubble? What is next? No, it starts with a D. The bubble.
But no one will tell her, which is so funny. So Adriana's like, double the pleasure. So Lisa's like, all right, who's the last person you stalked on Insta? Lenny, easy, next.
Yeah, and Adriana's
and the divorce complaints, in all of these complaints, listening to El Bravo docket, as I do, one of the things that she was being sued by Lenny's new girlfriend over is stalking. And she would make up names on Instagram and come just tell this new lady off on Instagram. So I thought it was funny. The casual, like, the last person you stalked on Insta, Lenny, easy, next.
What if it was Shaw exposed? What if that's what she came up with? So now we have Adriana says, like, do your best impersonation of the person to your left. So she starts doing a Julia impersonation where she's like, hello everybody, I'm from Russia and I would like to say something, like I've contacted with everybody at this table except one person, and that person is Larsa. Very difficult doing a Russian impersonation, doing via a Brazilian impersonation, especially when you can't really do the Brazilian impersonation in the first place.
She's like, the way I do Julia is I do Julia Child. Like, hello, you would like some ingredient in the butter? Would you like some butter in the ingredients with butter?
It was a little weird watching Adriana doing a Julia Child impersonation. I was like, I don't know how to feel about this.
I thought she did a pretty good job.
She did. That's what was weird about it. It was whoa.
Julia gets a never have I ever. And she's like, never have I ever injured myself having sex. And Nicole's like, literally, I threw out my head giving head. Wait, did I say that? I threw out my neck giving head. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah.
I couldn't move. It was like malicious. So then there's one that's like, send a you up text, the last person you hooked up with. And Adriana's like, well, they're like, Adriana, send it to Terry or whatever. And she's like, well, I haven't had sex with him yet. And he's been MIA ever since Nicole's engagement party. And he might not even come around after that whole thing. And Alexia goes, bueno, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, no, it wasn't meant to be. So now it's all silence because she does that thing, Alexia, where she's sitting up perfectly straight now, just like looking away.
I know.
It's like when she gets defiant, it's so funny. She's like,
she does do that.
Ay, bueno, he's no good for you.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
And she was like, he's probably thinking if those are our friends, I don't want to be near Adriana anymore. Which is, yes, that's exactly what he's thinking.
So they had a really good night and they all go back to their room. And then it just ends with Julia going, girls, what is DP? So in the morning, half the girls are going to do flamingo yoga. And then the other half are going to go get massages. Now, can already tell you, the massage people are idiots for going to a massage with Lisa and thinking you're going to get peace.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
Also, I'm really intrigued to know what exactly is flamingo yoga, because as far as I could tell, it was just doing yoga with flamingos walking around. Like, at least with yoga, the goats actually get on top of you, and I think that might serve some sort of
with you
thing, but like the flamingos are just walking around like cocktail waitresses.
They're just bored. They do not want to be around us. They just want to get dirty because that's all flamingos really want to do. Have you ever seen a clean flamingo? Have you ever seen a flamingo where you just thought, you woke up like with the proper amount of self-confidence today. Every time I see a flamingo, I'm like, dude, you're a flamingo. Get it together. Put some lipstick on. Brush your hair.
Many clean flamingos. But you're right. They do have a penchant towards getting into. You know who? Now I'll tell you a waiting bird that I can really get behind. Ibis. Ibises crack me up. They're like little Ramona singers. They just walk around being like, you know what? You know what I heard? I was just waiting over there, and guess what? Joni, she was so angry, and so I had to come over and let you know about. Don't go near Joni. She's waiting in some bad water right now.
Ibis, I have to look it up because
I love an ibis.
Can't keep up with you. Yeah, well,
my family.
Those aren't dirty birds.
I wasn't saying they were dirty. I'm just saying I love them.
Oh, they're just birds you like.
Yeah, because when my family we went on a family trip to Florida back in like 2010. It was at Club Med. It was a family med because my brother had he had like a 2-year-old at the time, and my nephew was like maybe 5 or 6. So we went to a family med. Oh, you're putting up an ibis? Yeah, love it. And so it was really boring at the family med. There was nothing to do. And so one of the things I would do is I would just look at the birds walking around. There was blue herons walking around, gray herons, and there were a ton of ibises. And the way they would just walk around, they just cracked me up. Just walking around, they're just gossiping.
I feel bad for the ibis because I feel like all the friends are like, hey, let's break into that house. You can pick the lock. Ibis knows. And they're like, hey, why are you making me do it? Like, your nose is literally built to pick a lock. Just do it. Like, no, you're going to get me in trouble.
It's the Punky Brewster of birds. Yeah. I feel like ibises are definitely friend doves, but like friend doves that I love, like Kiki. Like I want, like where you just were like, I want more. I want more.
Sorry, I just removed Ben from the stream instead of the bird and then myself. Sorry, goodbye, Ibis. Get out. We're done with you.
Ibis was also the name, I think, of someone who was on Road Rules once, which is funny. Like, I love ibises, but I wouldn't name my daughter Ibis. So, anyway, it's the next day, and it's breakfast. And, we talked about this. So, flamingo yoga. So, Alexia is scared of birds, and she's like, you know what? Like, I like that. Like, what I like about flamingos is they don't flap too much. Because, I can't have a lot of flapping. And they get there, and she's like, oh, so, like, do the flamingos get their own mats, too? Do they need to get some mats? And apparently the flamingos do get their own mats because otherwise they'll take the human mats, which is so flamingo. I never even thought about that before, but of course a flamingo would steal your yoga mat.
Yeah, flamingos are fucking divas, dude.
They are, but I love flamingos. I was just watching these flamingos and I was like, these flamingos are hilarious. These are funny ass birds. And I'll tell you that. My thing
with flamingos is from Florida because there's so many flamingos in Florida, obviously. But when I lived there, I was doing dinner theater. And there are a lot of dinner theaters and theaters like that in Florida. And it was all like Debbie Reynolds and Robert Goulet and people like that would come. And they'd come with these like, boxes from attics. They're like trunks. You see them at trunk sales. They're like actual trunks, Like Debbie Reynolds will come in with her trunk, in a grocery shopping cart and roll it in like with a scarf around her head and be like, hey, boys, I'm here. And then she'd go to her dressing room. And it's just always kind of like that dirty flamingo style. You know what I mean? Like all the stars who came in there, like glamorous, but just a little dirty.
See,
I've just been around for so long. It's like the flamingo's been a showgirl for so long. And she's still there when you need her, but she's a little dirty.
I don't know. The flamingos really remind me of going to a club in LA. Like, I just feel like the way they sort of like walk around, they really only pay attention to the other pretty birds, like the rest of us on the yoga mat, they're just sort of ignoring us. And then they will take your yoga mat if you're not there. Like they'll take your table, I'm like, sorry, this is ours now.
You weren't here. So, then in the spa is Larsa, Julia, and Adriana, and they're like, the friendship. And Adriana's like, I'm glad we're friends again, Larsa. And she's like, yeah, like we're good, but to be honest, like me and Julia, like our stuff was like never even like about us, like to be honest, right? Like if you want to like be truthful about it, like it really wasn't even about us, like. And Julia's like, we never got off on right foot, no pun intended. But was I making it up yesterday, or was Alexia kind of accusing me of brujeria stuff? And
I love that's the basis of this argument. Was Alexia? Am I crazy, or does Alexia think I'm doing witchcraft? Like only on this show.
So then we go back to flamingos, and Nicole's like, so this morning I had coffee at Julia and Adriana's room, and she said you felt upset. Like, were you somehow like accusing her or suggesting that she put a spell on Mary's soul?
And Alexia, who's already really freaked out right now because she has told us that, like, when she sees too many birds, she's very scared of birds. And then Gertie's also scared of birds because she's like, if there's more than 5 birds, it's a conspiracy. Have you ever seen The Birds? Yeah, you should watch it. It's a movie about birds that are all gathered together, not planning a wedding. How rude. So basically, Alexia's like, well, you know, Peter, I knew that like she was gonna think that, and like when she gave the stones, it made me think of like Marisol. And I told you like what I believe. It's like the bad eyes, like, you know, like it's like the bad thoughts on people. Like sometimes, unfortunately, unintentionally, they do it. Like, for example, I hate to say it about Adriana, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But like, oh yeah, well, she wishes me so well. Like she's so happy, like that I found Todd. But subconsciously, that's not what she wants. Like, but Adriana doesn't get it. Like that's subconsciously that is what she wants, but she didn't get it. Okay, I got it. So she's jealous of me.
So like it's bad. So like it's bad for her. So like her energy about it, like she says she's happy for me, but like it's bad, you know? And she says, yeah, you know, when people look at you and they wish bad on you, and that's the worst curse. And I do believe that throughout my life, I've had the bad eyes, and it's not with intention. It just happens that way. Mm-hmm. No. How about you married a fucking drug kingpin? Like, you know, this woman like blames everything. It's like the evil eyes. Nothing is none of your choices.
People are jealous. I married a drug kingpin and a closeted gay man. People are jealous of my great relationships.
Yeah. So then Lisa's like, she's talking on the phone, right? Because you can't go relax with Lisa. So she comes, she's late to the massage as always. She's fucking rude. She shows up. She's like, I'm not good. My son wasn't well this morning. He's screaming, I'll never get married. And he won't go to camp. So I was just trying to get the girl who helps me to take care of him. Go to camp. Like, well, hi. Good morning, Lisa.
Morning. Did you tell your kid you don't have to worry about getting married just yet? And then she's like, you know what? To help him feel better, the person who's helping me put on that Bob Marley song, Don't Worry, Everything's Going to Be Okay, and his mood completely changed.
Are you sure you just didn't bring him here and leave him in the laundry room of the hotel?
I know.
What do you...
Hold on, I got a call from my nanny. Oh, no. Why did you do that? Sorry. She played wrecking ball. Now there's a hole in the wall.
So, so they're like, this is about love, though, okay? And Adriana's like, yes, let's only talk about things with love. So, like, Alexia, like, she's throwing jabs at me all the time, saying I'm a different person. And when I got married, she and Marisol were bridesmaids, and we were getting along. And then after that, when my divorce was going around, she never once picked up the phone to say, oh, Adriana, are you okay? And the only person who extended a hand, you were there for me. And I'm assuming she's talking to Lisa, right? And she's like, yeah. And they say my life is mystery. That's why. Bitch, you don't care about me. That's why.
So then Larsa tells us, my experience is that Alexia is a really good friend. And she was always there for all of us. And Adriana is known to exaggerate everything like X, Y, and Z. So she loves to play victim. And any opportunity she gets to play victim, she's going to do it. Yeah.
To Adriana, it's not X, Y, Z because she writes in all capes. So it's like X, Y, Z.
She includes W, and that's not cool.
For real, seriously. To be honest, totally honest about it.
Yeah. So now all the women head to the beach club, where no kids are allowed. And Lisa's thanking Nicole for putting the trip together and everything. And Nicole's like, yeah, it's been exactly what I wanted, a reset for the group, and it's been fun. Hopefully we can continue the fun, which is that's always the announcement that's made that before everyone just starts to fight. That's okay, we've acknowledged we've had fun, now let's get to work.
And Lisa is on the phone. She's like, listen, I gotta call the house, guys. Hey, listen, could you go get Logan now? He wasn't happy, okay? He wasn't happy at camp. And his good friend wants to have a sleepover. But do not tell him the good news. I want to tell him the good news. So call him once you've kidnapped him from the camp. Okay, just throw a pillow over his head at the camp. Throw him in the trunk. and then call me so I can be the one to give him the good news, okay? I don't want him to see any other faces until he hears me on FaceTime giving him good news. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
If he gives you a problem, just put on no woman, no cry. Okay. That's great.
No cry. How long was Logan at camp?
I know. He should stay at camp until the camp day is done.
Leave Logan alone. This poor kid is probably... He's probably going to smile and crack a joke with the first kid. And they're going to be like, you Logan, get in the trunk.
So they start talking about kids. They're all joking. Oh, kids, they're like little manipulators. Oh my God, kids. What do we do about kids today? Just you wait and see. Kids. And then Gertie is like, I can't believe my kids are growing up. I can't believe they're growing up. And Julia's like, have another one. It's like, it's not like buying a box of cereal.
It's not a chicken skewer being passed around. You know what I mean? For Christ's sake.
And Gertie goes, I can't. Russell's fixed. Which also is funny. Is that what we say? I feel like that's like what we say about like dogs.
Animals. Yeah.
No, Russell's fixed. He's
I think husbands as well. Works for me.
I support it. I thought it was just funny.
So then Julia pulls over Gertie because they both had trauma with losing babies. And she tells her that she's going to adopt. And Gertie's so excited for her. And she's like, eventually all the other friends will find out. And hopefully they are positive or happy. So when her brujeria shit comes, everyone starts bleeding from the eyes. Like, oh.
Well, we all know where this is going to go. It's like, well, I don't understand why you tell Gertie, but like not tell me. Like I thought we were getting closer.
Yeah, like, why would you like tell some people but not tell me like? That's
well, it just like feels like you're picking favorites. Like, well, like Peter tells me everything, but like you can't tell me anything. Like I don't understand that.
So, okay, so now they're all having lunch, right? So then Alexia's like, well, Adriana, I wanted to talk to you because you've always, and look, I'm going to be self-righteous about it because, hold on, let me sit up straight, very straight, okay? So I wanted to talk to you because you've always cared about me and I've always cared about you, and I know that you've been feeling a certain sort of way. And she's like, okay, first of all, where did she get this information? Because, of course, the queen of talking behind my back.
And it's like a flashback of Larsa being like, Adriana feels like you haven't been there for her and like you're not her friend and she doesn't like your hair and she doesn't like your eyes and she hates everything about you and you have a stupid car.
Yeah. And Adriana's like, I see you as the extension of my family. And I know the sisters make up and they fight like sisters, but you call me liar and you've known me so long. Like, wow. Yeah, because you fucking lie, Adriana. Yeah. Anybody who watches this show knows that. You are a liar. You constantly lie.
Yeah, dude. Remember season 3, the whole big fight in season 3 is because Leah found out that Adriana was lying about like what that she was like sleeping on the floor or something like that. It was a whole big lie about like her previous divorce, something like that. So so then she's saying like, when I mentioned my wedding, like you were my bridesmaid, we were so close and it was a happy time. And when you say like my life is a mystery, I'm like, why? And like she's like, oh well, like when you came with Julia, like I felt like you were only worried about Julia and Julia's feelings and emotions, and you didn't care about me and Marisol. And so
it's like, well, it's true. I was over focused on Julia, but it's because you and Marisol kind of ousted me out. And Alexia's like, I'm sorry you feel like that, but we would never do that. We would never oust somebody out. And she's like, but Marisol triggers the wrong things, and then you egg her on, which I think is valid. And then you just hear hookers.
Hey, hookers.
A fucking bullhorn. I can't.
Bet you never thought you'd see me on this trip. New prop, and the prop makes my voice louder.
Monkey's here.
I actually cracked up. Because I did not see that coming. Like the way they edited that, like I was like in the fight. I was like ready for this to escalate. And when she's talking about Marisol, and then Marisol just shows up. Hi, hookers. I was like, oh God, this show is so good. And honestly, even on this episode, really nothing happened. This was just like a fun and games episode, but I was just amused by all of it because I enjoy all the women so much. They They crack me up, but I also love being in their presence, that I'm like down with it. I'm down with a nothing episode.
Yeah, I don't think the episodes should have to have fighting for them to be fun episodes. This was and this was proof. It was a really fun episode.
Yeah.
So good times. Thank you everybody for being with us.
Thanks for being here. We'll catch you next week with a whole new slate of episodes. Go to watchcrappens.com to get your tickets to the Crappies, virtual or in person, or to one of our shows that's going to be in a city near you. And we will catch you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch. Kristen the Piston Anderson. Can't stop fanning over Tina Manning.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Christy Wowardy Dowardy.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Undo your fasteners. It's Aaron Kastner.
We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill. Make it lastner with Aaron Kastner.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon out of a cannon Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.